tutorial today we're going to talk about running the Nomad L series or these batteries in parallel and also as a series. Can you do that and how you would actually do it? There are ways to accomplish what you would like to achieve with respect to parallel. The way you'd actually connect these in parallel is you get yourself another battery of the same chemistry type because the charge profile of what we're going to do between the two batteries. So this here's a 105, I could have 135 there. We're not going to direct connect the batteries together at all. So what we're going to do to make it a parallel system, basically we're going to use one of these as a master, one of them as a slave, and this is basically going to be used to charge the other one there. So it's got 105 amp hours, say it's full, that might be 105 amp hour or whatever it is. You've got a solar panel running to this and charging this unit. We can actually now charge the other battery from this using what we just seen, that the DC-DC chargers. So these you can charge your Nomad. You'll take this out of your vehicle. For an example, you're at the campsite, someone else has got one of these, and you decide you want to run one off the solar panel and connect them both together and you get 200 plus amp hour out of it. Okay, what you simply have to do is use this one as, say, the power source, and that's going to put an output of between 9 and 32 volt, which is what this accepts here, and we're going to connect that to that, and then quite simply 9 to 36 volt goes into the DC, that converts to 14.6, that's a 20 amp module, and quite simply that's now just going to charge the other one there. So that's getting topped up, it's now powering and charging the other one there. As long as there's power coming in, it's just going to keep feeding. So you're going to have the access to the 200 plus amp hour. That's how you run in parallel. You don't connect the batteries directly together. In fact, if you've got two different chemistries or two batteries different sizes, that can have all sorts of effects. But if you do it this way, you're quite simply taking the charge out, regulating it, current coming out, you're regulating the charge and you're charging something else. So if you want to run in series and run 24 volt, you can't do that with the batteries as in connecting two batteries on top of each other. What you can do is use one of these that is a step up to 24 volt. And quite simply, they look exactly like this. Configuration is exactly the same. It takes 9 to 36 volt in, converts it to 20 amp maximum 24 volt. So you can actually set them, you can actually step these up to 36 volt if you wanted to. Just remember there's a cost for conversion. So if you're taking the 14.6 and going to 24 volt, there's a conversion cost, maybe 20% between that step up, just in the conversion. But yes, you can run them in parallel by doing that, or in series if you want to accomplish getting 24 volt. The other cool thing about these here is if you're in the countryside and you've run your crank battery flat, for whatever reason you left the radio on, the lights on or whatever, and your crank battery's flat, you cannot jump start from these units. They're not built for jump starting, and don't ever do it under any circumstance. But how do you get out of trouble? You could charge your crank battery from one of these. If this is fully charged, you've got your solar panel and all the rest of it, all you got to do again, this is a 14.6 profile, it is for lithium, but you're in trouble. You need to get some charge into your crank battery to start your car and get out of trouble. So basically you plug this into your Nomad, 936 volt in, comes out, and this will be a 14.6 profile, which you've been charging that. It's going to put out 14.6 volt up to 20 amp, if that's a 20 amp one, or a 10 amp, whatever you've got. And then you can connect it to your AGM battery. Okay, with these you should have in your jump start kit anyway, with an Anderson on it, and then you'll be able to sit there for a couple of hours and just let that happily charge. Do not, under any circumstance, start the vehicle with all this connected. Okay, you're going to damage things, and we are very clear on the instructions on the back of these units. It's clear in the instructions in the units. Don't do it, especially if you're out in the bush and you're limited as far as being in contact with people. You don't want to take risks with power sources. Okay, so make sure that you follow the instructions. Don't direct connect the batteries to each other. Make sure there's a DC between them. And you've just got to remember is that if you're going to do this, make sure that again has your double fuse. Don't try and cut them out and have no fusing. Just make sure they're fused, which is why we double fuse them. So that's running in parallel, running in series, and get yourself out of trouble if you do have a crank battery flat. And that will certainly put enough power in. And look, if you do it once to the AGM at 14.6 with that lithium, it's going to charge it. You just don't want to do it continually and ongoing, but it will get you out of trouble. So look, hope that helps you out, answers a couple of questions.